Not many action movies have shaken up audiences and the film world like The Raid and The Raid 2 did. Gareth Evans, the cool Welsh director, took Indonesian martial arts to a whole new level with these two intense classics. He pushed the limits of stunt work, fight choreography, and action photography, giving us unforgettable beatdowns and turning Iko Uwais into a global star. Interestingly, even though Uwais' character Rama was the main focus in both Raid movies, the director spills the beans that Rama wouldn't have been the lead in the talked about and probably now forgotten third movie in the series. In a recent Empire spoiler special podcast, Gareth Evans took a trip down memory lane, looking back at the original 2011 film The Raid. He spilled the beans on why Rama wouldn't have been the main character in The Raid 3. Evans explained, "I couldn't think of another reason why he would put his life at risk and separate himself from his wife and kid again." He candidly admitted that if Rama did that, it would be like saying, you sorta deserve to die now really. Take some responsibility and be a father for a change." Interestingly, it turns out Rama's last line in The Raid 2, "I'm done," was pretty spot on. Evans joked, "It's a very convenient last line of dialogue to have." Expanding on the expansive world introduced in The Raid 2, Gareth Evans envisioned The Raid 3 as a deep dive into another aspect of the Asian criminal underworld. The proposed storyline would rewind to a crucial moment in The Raid 2, where the Goto gang, a Japanese gang, holds a meeting. Goto instructs his right-hand man to eliminate all corrupt cops and politicians on their records and initiate a fresh start. This would have set the stage for a compelling exploration of the criminal landscape in Evans' envisioned sequel. In the imagined opening of The Raid 3, Rama emerges from the building having dealt with everyone, firmly declaring, "No, I'm done." He then heads toward police officer Bunawar, waiting in his car, and drives away. Meanwhile, the focus shifts to the Japanese gang left in disarray, pondering their next move with no targets left. Suddenly, another car appears, colliding with theirs in a sudden attack. The only survivors are Goto, his son, and his right-hand man, leaving the audience on a suspenseful note as the credits roll, signaling the beginning of The Raid 3. Then it would go back in time. The concept was that the second-in-command, instructed to eliminate all politicians and law enforcement and start anew, would reach out to the main boss in Tokyo, expressing, "Goto is losing control. This situation is incredibly chaotic. What should I do?" Headquarters' response would be, "Keep him calm, keep him nearby. We'll dispatch individuals to handle it, and if you assist us in this, you can assume control of his territory." Unfortunately, the plan goes awry. A Japanese kill squad appears and eliminates the Gotos. Goto remains unaware that his right-hand man has betrayed him, orchestrating the setup for an ambush. In the aftermath of the Yakuza attack, the narrative of The Raid 2 would have shifted focus to Goto, leading the story into a completely new setting, the Indonesian jungle. Gareth Evans explains that Goto goes into hiding in the jungles of West Java. There, he plans to rendezvous with an old mafia boss, portrayed by Christine Hakim, who runs a jungle retreat and has trained killers. Goto seeks her protection because of their long-standing connection. She was the one who originally introduced him to Jakarta. The plot involves a Japanese kill squad accustomed to urban settings, having to navigate the challenges of a jungle environment, akin to the dynamics in Predator. The Guerrilla Kids, under Christine's leadership, would defend their land against this Japanese intrusion. While the details aren't fully fleshed out, at some point in the story, Goto's son would have been killed. Goto would come to the realization that his right-hand man was the betrayer all along, leading to a gritty tribal method of dealing with him. Subsequently, Goto, along with the guerrilla gang of Indonesian killers, would return to Tokyo with the intent of settling the score with those who ordered his assassination. So The Raid 3 was initially envisioned as a departure from the epic scale of The Raid 2, opting for a shorter and more intense 95-minute runtime. Gareth Evans acknowledges that the planned direction might have upset many fans. With a laugh, he suggests that now that people are aware of his original plan, they might be relieved and say, "You know what? Don't worry about The Raid 3, we're good." As for why the film never materialized, after spending 18 months on the post-production of The Raid 2 and working on the movie Blister, which didn't come to fruition, Evans felt that he had moved on from his earlier works. Over the course of 5 years, he directed Apostle and initiated production on Gangs of London. The idea of going back to create the Raid 3 no longer appealed to him, as his interests had shifted to other projects. Evans explains that as you work with different people, encounter new opportunities, and find stories that capture your attention, your focus naturally moves on to those endeavors. Now, the Japanese action movie REBORN is likely the closest thing the world will ever see to the Raid 3. The Raid masterfully combines action and horror, putting characters like Rama and Jaka in a harrowing situation where they must fight for survival. The Raid 2 shifts into the realm of a crime movie, exploring the conflicts between gangs in Jakarta. Interestingly, REBORN seems to capture the essence of both, featuring Toshiro as a feared and legendary assassin known as the Ghost. The film showcases intense battles in shadowy corridors and defends against surprise attacks. Notably, REBORN shares a video game-like structure with The Raid and is often seen as Japan's equivalent to John Wick. In essence, REBORN serves as a film that parallels the spirit of what The Raid 3 could have been, offering audiences a thrilling action experience. While REBORN may not delve as deeply into the organized crime aspect as The Raid 2, it still manages to match the heightened action seen in its predecessor. Similar to Rama in The Raid 2, Toshiro finds himself confronting literally hundreds of opponents in REBORN, and he wields a modified version of the Indonesian blade known as the karambit as his weapon of choice. The karambit was notably featured in The Raid 2 during the intense kitchen showdown between Rama and Sisip Arif Rahman's assassin. In REBORN, the use of this weapon adds a familiar touch, creating a sense reminiscent of the action scenes in The Raid 2. The finale of REBORN is highlighted as the point where it truly stands in as a surprising substitute for The Raid 3. This suggests that despite differences in the organized crime narrative, REBORN manages to capture the intense and escalating action that fans of the Raid series have come to appreciate. REBORN appears to share significant parallels with the intended story of the Raid 3, as described by Gareth Evans. According to Evans, his envisioned plot for the Raid 3 would have featured Rama in a mirror role and focused on a gang war initiated by the Goto family against other Yakuza factions, set in the jungles outside of Jakarta. The third act of REBORN closely resembles this concept, where Toshiro, alongside 2 assassin allies, engages in a fierce battle against dozens of camouflaged assassins in a forest. Toshiro systematically eliminates all of them, leading to the final showdown in a factory. The remarkable forest battle in REBORN not only occupies a significant portion of the film, but also serves as a condensed presentation of what the Raid 3 was intended to be. While REBORN maintains its own distinctive style of action, it shares enough similarities with the martial arts movies led by Iko Uwais, making it almost a spiritual sequel to the Raid films. Despite the Raid 3 not materializing due to Gareth Evans' satisfaction with how the Raid 2 concluded the series, REBORN is regarded as a highly worthy substitute, offering fans a thrilling and action-packed experience akin to the spirit of the Raid franchise. Well, that's it for today. For now, make sure that you like our video. Please share your views in the comment section with us. Subscribe to the channel to get updated, and do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.